Okay, hey guys. So I did a video, went on, and it didn't all record. I'm traveling. I don't have internet connection that's solid, and so I'm going to record this super quickly and go over it again in full length because that cut out early on. I'm traveling. I'm with my mom who's in the hospital, and I'm going to try to do my best this week to get this information to you. I was trying to do a Google Hangout because it records live to YouTube, so I was trying to circumvent a process, but apparently that's not going to work. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to share screen. Okay, this is a PowerPoint presentation that is in our Team Vitality Alliance. Nani put this together, and so it's back there. And I was trying to tailor it earlier this week, because all us coaches have our own personality and stuff like that. And so I was just trying to go through and make it my own, right? Okay. So onboarding with your new coaches, you want to connect with them when they first come on. They're very excited. You want to build on that momentum, really engage with them. Take that overwhelming, remember when you became a new coach, take that overwhelming piece out because I don't know, when I first became a coach, it was trying to disseminate all the information from the back office and figuring out what to do, what was right, what was, what I needed to improve on, kind of getting bombarded with a lot of information and not knowing if I was doing things right or where to start. So with this email onboarding, you're going to kind of like walk your coach hand in hand, especially from the beginning. And we'll talk about the emails campaign that you send out that lets them know that they are not alone, that you're going to walk with them hand in hand through this, and that they just need to stay connected with you. So there's three things I'm going to talk about here, and that is, there's three plus a little bit at the end. Emails that you're going to send out. So there's 7 emails that you can send one every second day. So it takes about 14 days to get the emails, information to your new coach. If you don't have like an auto email kind of program that you use, you would want to put this in your calendar. Send out email to Sherry, right? Email 3 to Sherry on whatever dates those are. So there's 7 emails. Okay, then the other thing we're going to talk about is calls and being able to connect with your coach and asking them some questions so that that's going to better help you to help them. And then the other thing is sending out a welcome packet, just making them feel very much a part of our team and that they are feeling that energy from us, from you as their new coach, and then just keeping that excitement going, right? So the emails, there's 7 emails. Again, you're going to do this over a period of 14 days. We take this information, it's from some successful coaches, and one coach that does this, she uses what's called Active Campaign. I think it's a specific program. You can have these set up so that they go out, every second day. If the third email isn't opened up, it gives, it'll tell you, so that you can reach out to the coach and say, hey, I've got these emails going to you. Maybe they ended up in your spam. Just want to make sure there's anything I can do. If the 4th email isn't opened up and you get an email, this is through that Active Campaign. I haven't researched it, but just the point is that you want to make sure that you are reaching out to them through these email campaign that you're sending to make sure that they are getting the information and reading it. And if they're not asking questions, it's probably a good indicator that they're not looking at the information. So the 7 emails are, the first one would be just an introduction. I would do a welcome video, and I'll share mine with you this week, and just introducing yourself as their upline coach and letting them know, here's who you are, here's how you got started, just a quick little information about you. Most of your coaches you're going to know really well, but maybe you get a coach assigned to you, or maybe it's somebody new that you don't really have that really strong relationship yet. So definitely this one is vital as well. And it just lets the other coach know, a part of your story, right? Okay. So the second email is training, just letting them know they're going to be invited to a training. The first 30 Coach Basics training, we start one on the first Monday of every month is how it usually works. Maybe they signed up mid-month. So you might look at where they're at, how willing they are, how much time they have, and if they're ready to jump in, then maybe you want a one-on-one put them through this training with you. So just letting them know that the training is available, because I know when you're a new coach, you're trying to think, how am I going to do this? I don't know what I'm doing. Just so they get that second email and they know they're going to get the mentoring and the training. So the third email is inviting. They need to know which group they're inviting to. If it is a challenge group, or you have a sneak peek, or you have a free group, let them know that they can invite to that, and you should let them put their new people into your challenge group so that you can mentor them along with the first few challenge groups until they can, spring off on their own. However you do that as a coach. But letting them know the importance of inviting. So maybe building that contact list of 50 to 100 people that they can start reaching out to and start forming, that they can start connecting with, finding out what their goals are, and then eventually inviting them to a group. The fourth email is resources, making sure that they're aware of all the resources that they have available to them, their emails, the FAQs in the back office. Super important for them to know that, because they can go and find that information. Let them know, Google it. Like, if you need some information, Google, because you're going to get lots of YouTube videos popped up, right? There's all the information in the Coach Online Office, but I would try not to, have them going in there too much in the beginning, because it'll really overwhelm them. But letting them know, in our training section in the Get Starting Right, and just seeing some of those basics, the objections, the Shakeology, the inviting process, the forming process. And so they get some of the terminology down, and the 4 vital behaviors, right? And letting them know about the breaking coach news, where to find that on their back office, and that the National Wake Up Call is every Monday. So they want to know, definitely help your coaches to be resourceful, so they're not constantly coming at you with every single question. You want them to be able to go out and find that information themselves. You want to build, they are their own boss. You are not their boss. So you have to help them to become that independent CEO, right? So if by the fourth email they haven't reached out to you, you definitely want to make sure that they are seeing emails and taking in the information, and asking them if they have any questions. So the fifth email is about Shakeology, letting them know how to find more resources on that, sharing your belief on it. What was your experience when you were first introduced to Shakeology? Did you have objections? Were you like, me, I'm not a shake person. I didn't like the get that whole supplement kind of thing. What is your story and your belief surrounding it? What it, how it has benefited you, and sharing that with them so that they can start formulating their own ideas, their own story, and start thinking about those things strategically about, how was I? Did I think about it? And what have been the benefits of drinking it? Maybe they're brand new and haven't even gotten it yet. So you wanted to let them know, here's your story. And then in your resource, either in your resources or in this email, sharing them the third-party tools and being able to help them. And then also asking them what their, 30 to 60 second elevator pitch is. Somebody says, what is Shakeology? What do they say? The sixth email is Success Club, and why it is important, and what it means. And so, Success Club, as we know, is how many lives that you're helping each month. And it's really just that it does two things, Success Club. Like with our fitness challenge groups, we will have people create SMART goals, right? They're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they have a time sensitivity to it. So Success Club is a lot like that. It is a specific and measurable goal that has, that is achievable, definitely. It's relevant to growing your business, and the time sensitivity with achieving it each month. And then the fact that means it is also an indicator of how many lives you are helping and impacting each month. That's what we are doing as coaches. That's what we are here for. So again, it's how many people are you helping, and are you consistently growing your business, right? Because that's important, right? And then the last email is implementation. So they got a lot of information in the first 6 emails. You want to make sure they're putting it into action. Talk about any questions that they have. And making sure that they are just, putting those 4 vital behaviors in place. Okay. I'll try to give you some examples of some emails from those. I'll try to put some stuff out there this week. When you do the call with them, likely you've already done some calls with them before they signed up as a coach. And if it's good to set up like a weekly coach connection call just to see how they're doing, what questions they have, as they start working the business. But initially, here's what you want to do is you want to just start that relationship and that connection with asking them these 4 questions once they've signed up, right? What scares them the most? And I suppose you could ask this before they even sign up, but what scares them the most about being a coach? Is it about posting their stuff out on social media? Is it about not being good enough? Is it about not being their ideal weight? Is it about, how do I share Shakeology? Whatever it is, so that you can address that and you can help them overcome that so that they can better serve whoever they're reaching out to. You also want to ask them what excites them. What's that joy that's going to keep them invigorated in doing this business? What kind of things do they like to do? Do they like blogging? Do they like writing? Then they might want to blog. Do they like doing videos? Then sharing with them how to do live. Sharing with them the Chalene Johnson tip, the YouTube video on that. Where do they find joy in their life? Maybe it's having play dates with other moms, with kids, So that could be one of the things where they help build connections, or they use that with sharing their story kind of thing, And so just making sure that as they work in the business, that they have that joy and that fulfillment piece in there. And if you ask them that question and you keep, you want to write some notes of these so that you can go back to them when they are working the business and they're kind of like, if you ever have those days where you're just not feeling it, right? You're not feeling that joy, you can remind them this is going to help you to help them. The third question is, how much time can you spend each day on the business? So maybe they're a full-time student, maybe they're a full-time mom, maybe they work away from home full-time, maybe they have, PTA commitments, maybe they're a hockey mom, maybe they do all kinds of other volunteer stuff. So how much time do they have to spend on the business? Because then you want to be able to help them to be able to fit in those vital behaviors in the little pockets of time. Maybe they've got all day long, and so you can show them how to build it faster, right? So you have to know where they're at and meet them there. What is their first goal? Very important to ask them, how quick are they going to want to run? Are they really just looking to get their Shakeology paid for, and maybe helping some friends out? Maybe they really want to, run fast in this business and go as quick as possible and retire their job, right? You need to know what that goal is so that you can help them with that. And then you also use that to remind them as they're going along, here's what your goal is, or, is this still your goal? Do we need to reevaluate? It's just kind of how you help them. So the other thing is, as you're doing those emails, as they're asking you questions, as you do that call, as you're learning these things about them, further learning about them, and you're getting a piece of their story, and you should do a welcome to our team page, get a picture, a quick little blurb on what they, who they are, what they like, what they like to do for recreation, if they're a mom, just share some of that stuff about them so other coaches and other people on our team can connect with them, and maybe they'll find their success partner. So that is extremely important to a welcome packet. So, here's some suggestions. I'm just going to say that, you can put together whatever packet, like whatever it is that fits your personality. But one of the success top coaches shared what she puts in there, and she does like an entrepreneur DVD, or you could do it a personal development book. Send because it's important and you want to be sharing about those vital behaviors, right? Shakeology sample or a performance lane sample. They may be just signing up as a brand new coach. They haven't even started in a challenge group yet. They've never tried Shakeology. Maybe you want to get their hands on a sample so that they can start trying it and tasting it, and so they can start, building their story around it. Welcome letter. Put in a letter there, just kind of sharing with them. It's their turn to lead by example. That their job now is to lead by example, to share some of the personal development, that personal growth that they have going on, that how they're taking care of their health and their mindset is benefiting their life, how they are striving to achieve their goals, how, just they need to lead by example, and that is their job. And that is part of our vital behaviors of being proof of the product, sharing their story out there, reaching out to other people and asking them if they have goals and how you can connect with them and help them with those goals, and then celebrating those successes, right? So we'll talk about in a second. But in the welcome packet, another suggestion was stickers. They might figure out which program they bought or which ones they like. You can get some stickers from, I believe, through ordering online through Team Beachbody. You can also go into your Coach Online Office and marketing materials, and you could have some stickers printed. You could have your team sticker made and giving that to them so that they feel a part of, and it just helps with that excitement and that ownership, right? Celebrate those successes. So now you know what their goals are, what they're striving to achieve. So as you work with them to achieve those, you want to be able to celebrate that stuff. So you can also then, there's another packet that you could create, and it's for if they hit the Success Club, you could send them a gift card, or a gift card for an audio book for personal development, or a personal development book. And one of the great ones suggested here is the Energy Bus. It's a really great book. It's about mindset. It's about focusing your energy on positive, and that positive mindset that helps create the life that you want. Just for fun, you could put in a packet of Energize, or you could send some kind of trinket that is connected to a charity. Maybe you support, the Diabetes Association, the Heart Association, Breast Cancer Awareness, that kind of stuff. Whatever's important to you, that would also benefit the charity, that they would see that they're also making an impact, just that way. That's always awesome. So shout outs, there's all kinds of ways to celebrate and recognize one of our vital behaviors. Recognize, recognize, recognize. If they've made Success Club, and for your veteran coaches, and if they've done it by the middle of the month, definitely shout that out. They get a call with the CEO, shout that out. If they hit 2 Success Club months straight in a row, of course they get a Summit ticket. You want to shout that out. When they rank advance, of course you want to shout that out. If they hit certain personal volume goals or team volume goals, definitely want to make a big deal out of that. If they're on a team cup, that is being a success. You've joined a team, you're trying to advance your business. In that, you'll learn some things, so that's always successful. It's always good to shout that out. If they've signed up for the Beachbody Challenge and they've shown their before and after, or they've gotten a prize, then you definitely want to shout that out. And then also things outside of Beachbody, right? Are they getting married? Are they having a baby? Is it their birthday? Are they moving? Did they retire their job? Did they buy a new car? Whatever. Did they, just whatever it is, just make sure that they know that you are this is more than just a business. We are connected, like at a very personal level. So be present on social media too. You want to go out to your new coach's page, like and comment on their posts as much as you can. When they're telling their story, you want to look at that and you let them know, is this a reassurance or do you need to redirect? They should be sharing their feelings behind their transformation, not just what they're doing, because people don't buy what you're doing, they buy why you're doing it. So you need to share that why. So you want to make sure your coaches are sharing that, the feeling behind the action, behind that transformation, behind their story. Make sure they're showing all parts of them, not just their Beachbody stuff. So reassure them that they're either posting well, or maybe they need a little redirection. Maybe they're posting a lot of billboardy stuff, a lot of, we say Beachbody vomit. You don't want to do that. Definitely no links, and if that's happening, you want to redirect them. You need to take that down. Let's change it up to this. Because that's teaching them. You're mentoring them, right? And have them scroll their own time. Make sure that they're having a diversity. Watch the back office. So you want to teach them how to make this a habit, to go into the back office, look at their downline, look at the coaches they have, seeing if there's any red projected inactive, so they can reach out to those coaches and figure out what's going on, why, because you don't want that coach to lose their rank and then have that affect your rank as well, right? Have that new coach. Maybe she went emerald, and if she looks back there and somebody's projected to be inactive, she's going to drop out of emerald rank. So they need to know to be checking that, especially as their team grows. And making that a habit. Goals, helping the coaches. So also, as your new coaches have their goals, if you can see their drill down too. You can see the coaches that they've signed up, making sure they're signing them up, and placement is right, left, as they're getting close to their goal. Reach out to them. You're only 2 away from reaching your goal. What can I do to help you? Or, just pump them up, make sure they keep going, and that they know that you're watching and you're helping, you're ready to help them. Our goals are all unique to us. So part of it's really, I don't think it's really onboarding, but it's more of just that continuing mentoring process where you can do like level up retreats, or you can do get-togethers, right? And it's just building that vibe of your tribe. It's knowing that the culture that we have, and the next slide talks about culture, but knowing that, so your coach knows that they are a part of something big. So based on their goals, you might have like a level up luncheon, right? So you get together and you talk about what you're struggling with, and this is not just one-on-one, or could do one-on-one, but you could also do all your coaches. Let's have a big coach lunch. Let's do this, and share struggles and successes and where you're going next and what's working for you. So you can do small little intimate gatherings like that, or you can do a full-blown retreat as you get more successful, right? So it's more than, some people have diamond retreats to start diamond retreats, but maybe not everybody's goal is to get the diamond, right? But you still want to be able to include them in these retreats or these get-togethers. So just know where your coach is at, what their goals are, and make sure that they know, no matter what that goal is, that they're still a part of it. So you include them in these kinds of events. So that's that culture that we build, get together, to making sure that they know that there's an open door policy with you. Anytime that they need some help or have a question, they're getting bombarded with objections and rejections, and they need to know that you're there and you're available for them. And that it's also more than just the beach body. So this is a culture of women being successful in their lives as building freedom in their families and freedom financially and being able to live their lives fully. So it's more than just challenge groups, right? More than just selling challenge bags. This is a culture of women helping women to become the best version of themselves and have that freedom. So make sure that they know that you are there for them, all the way, because maybe there's something happening in their life that's affecting how they're showing up in their business, and you need to know that, and they need to know that you care about that, right? Okay. And then as far as branding goes, so when your coach is new, kind of have them think about what their interests are, because we are not Beachbody. We are independent from Beachbody. We are our own bosses. We use Beachbody products and programs, but who are your new coaches, and have them kind of think about that. They want to share that as they're sharing their story and they're posting. Want that to come out, share that excitement of what they're doing in their own lives, and not only just in their fitness, but in their business, right? And so the sky is the limit. Let them know you're going to meet them where they're at. You're going to meet them halfway. They have to come. They have to do the work. You're giving them the information. You're mentoring them. They have to implement the stuff and take action. They have to want to achieve that why. You can, I know I would love all my challenges. I want it more than some of them want it. I know that. But I can't make them want it. I can't make them take the action. Same with the coaching. I can be here. I can show you. I will mentor you, but it's up to them to take the action. And it's $1 million business. It's huge. There are people just like us, uber successful, right? And achieving those things and becoming independently, financially independent and having that freedom of time. And if that's your goal, you can do it too. And they need to know that. So make sure that they are excited about that. Make sure they start thinking about who they are. They're not Team Beachbody. They are a coach that's helping people. So they can be proud about that. And that it's so awesome. We have our Team Vitality Alliance, that we are a bunch of these like pods of teams that are being created, but we come underneath this umbrella, that this alliance that we have. And that the vitality is that we are really trying to create this wonderful life. And just getting empowered. And, it's all based on health and fitness, but it's just so much more than that. Nani's team is Team Believe in You, and she believes in everybody. She is so willing to share, and your coach needs to know that too, that you believe in them and that you are going to be there for them. Make sure they get that shout out on the team page. I think that's the end of it. Yep. So I'm going to stop sharing here. So again, that presentation is in our Team Vitality Alliance in the Google Docs. If you want to go back and take notes on that, print out any of those screenshots. I'm going to present some of the information this week as far as some of those emails and just the resources and things that I've used to help you to better help your coach. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign out for now, and I will chat with you soon.